The universe isn't asking us to chase things right now. It's asking us to come home, to breathe, to listen, to reconnect with our inner self. And we have been strong, we have been brave, we have been courageous on our path forward. And yet, I think the real growth is just beginning in our lives, within the quiet spaces, the spaces that we've been too busy to visit. So I think now we're given time to remember what matters most. And before I jump into everything, we'll break down the energy together. Let's start with the numerology, then we'll flip over to the astrology, and of course, turn to the cards. First, I want to say thank you truly for all of your support, your time, your love, for being here, for showing up. Okay, I hope that by the end of our time together, you now have more tools or more insight or more wisdom on how to take that step forward with a sense of confidence, clarity, and definitely with love. So, hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Welcome to your Daily Focus, November the 11th, 2025. So, today we have the 11 energy. How wonderful is that? And yes, a lot of people say that, we're in the 1111 portal, but we know that our yearly energy is a 9, so it's not a true portal, but it could be a crack, it could be an opening, it could be, the 11 energy is intensified. It's not only a master number, but it's doubling up on itself. So the 11 energy is about understanding what we truly need in order to go forward and allow the rest to stay in our past. What doesn't fit anymore? What doesn't support us anymore? And it's about getting clarity and understanding and focus on a passion, a dream, a desire, a great want of yours to go forward in some way, some path, to step into it, to make that promise to yourself, to set that goal, to make that plan, to work that strategy. And if we look at the daily numerology, it gets even better because we have the 211, 9 gives us a 22. And the 22 is the strongest energy we can have for a daily energy. Oh my goodness. The mastery number appears to say when we put our focus on things, when we show up consistently, when we have thought out the plan and the strategy, things start to just appear. Things start to come together. So the more we start to focus on how we want to step forward, the goals, the dreams, the desires we want to step into, to make them tangible, make them real. We have fabulous energy on a day like today. So, okay, the astrology. Let's jump into the astrology because I'm kind of holding back on you here. Sun is in Scorpio, Moon is in Leo, so we've already got some fire energy here. Jupiter goes retrograde in Cancer today. So yes, once again, we're being pulled into that path of reflection rather than action. And we've just talked about this with Uranus taking its last steps backwards before it moves totally into Gemini. We've talked yesterday about Mercury going out of Sagittarius, re-entering Scorpio, and then finally returning to Sagittarius. And don't forget, we're also in full moon energy. So it's time to slow down. It's time to breathe. It's time to start to revisit some events, some decisions that we have been walking through while Jupiter has been in Cancer. So now Jupiter's going to go direct in 2026. Okay, it's about 4 months of retrograde. And then enter Leo in the summer. I think it's June. Anyways, right now, if you and Jupiter were having a conversation, and you are, Jupiter is saying, let's just slow down and see what we truly want before we ask for more. Okay, so yeah, I think since June, Jupiter's been in Cancer and has been expanding our emotional world, our families, our homes, our communities. Even the way we probably take care of ourselves, nurture ourselves, show love and compassion towards ourselves. And when we have retrograde, it's about an inward movement. We start to feel things more deeply. Little moments matter more. Memories start to resurface. And different patterns in our life that we thought that we had ended, that we maybe healed, they start to show up again in our life. Okay, Cancer energy is very intuitive. It's very protective. It's very tender. And Jupiter magnifies that. So it brings our emotional truth into focus. So between now and March of 2026, yeah, another one that you should be bookmarking on those days when I don't show up, rewatch this, okay, over the next 4 months. And, stay tapped into this energy because it'll mainly be happening behind the scenes. And you know what? Expect to see how far you've come in building emotional resilience or self trust or genuine connections. I think the last time Jupiter was in Cancer was 2013 and 14, probably right around there. And for me, oh my gosh, that is when my kids moved out. That is when my mom started to forget things too frequently. So for a while there, I was juggling two households, and then I really put my efforts on her as her needs grew, and I kind of forgot about my first residence. So, I didn't take into account that I would be having two homes of great love and a family in each, and so when you look back on that path that you have walked to now and seeing where you are, where you have grown, where you have stood up, where you've you've stepped into more of a sense of what you consider to be home, safety. And for some, it may feel like a sort of homesickness. I remember my mom telling me when she left from Holland and came to Canada, and after a couple of weeks here, she was so sick she couldn't get out of bed. She said, and she cried all the time. And she went to the doctor, and the doctor said, you either need to raise the money for a ticket back to Holland, or you're homesick. And that could be just a longing for what we once felt was familiar or safe. For some of us, it'll be the realization that we've outgrown some kind of emotional cycle, or there's some chapters, endings in relationships are changing or developing in different ways. Or caretaking roles, absolutely, like my mom and I. And Jupiter is saying to us that our feelings are wise. They're guiding us towards what really matters right now. So this is the moment when we begin to write our story. But this time we're writing it Jupiter in Cancer. So we walk backwards, so to speak, for a little bit. We might talk more about what's happening with housings or land or security and safety issues. Who has access? Who doesn't? Food, farming, what we eat, parenting. In a nutshell, the meaning of home to us in a world that feels less than stable at times. And this is a time when nostalgia peaks. Okay, we look back on the simpler times. And that helps us to understand what stability really feels like so that we can create more of it or create it in our lives again. So, they keep showing me this closet, and we're like, we're in the closet, and we're just throwing things. And I kind of get it now. Okay, so let's think for the next 4 months. Okay, let's think that we're cleaning out the closet, and at first it's very messy, and everything is everywhere. And so we start to go through it piece by piece, and we find things that we've forgotten, and treasures that still have meaning, and clutter that no longer fits who we are. And that's Jupiter in Cancer. So by March 2026, what's left in our closet will be what truly supports us, makes us feel safe, and understand our definition of what home means to us. The closet. Okay. Let's turn to the cards, shall we? Who did we have at the bottom? Look at this. 10 of Wands. Yeah. We have to understand what we want to take with us. Okay. We have a sack on our back. And there's potential there. There's growth there. We can see it. But there's also some deadwood that we're carrying with us. And we need to understand what the deadwood is because we need to let it go. Because we can't possibly, well, we can walk this tortured walk. But if we just back it up a little bit, we'll understand what really needs to be released, let go, maybe allowing in healing. And I would almost think that that's because we have so much inward energy that it could be more within than in our external worlds right now. Okay. Oh my goodness. Those those cards wanted to stay on top, so I can't wait to find out what they are. They insisted. Okay, here we go. Look at the Six of Cups. Yeah, nostalgia. This is the card of nostalgia. Although I see it more of understanding our limitations, our fears, our anxieties, our walls. Here we are, and we're looking. We're looking at those flowers. And we're pulling ourselves away. We're a little scared, but the angel appears next to us. The angel says, "These flowers are meant for you. They always have been. They're for you to embrace, to see the joy and happiness in every cup we hold, to see the flowers in every experience and every adventure and every learning experience and every relationship and environment that we step into." And so to let go of what somebody said that you should do or couldn't do, it came in so clear there for a bit, but I'm not getting it again, guys. But we had it nice and close. Anyways, let's go to our first card here. Look at this, the Death card. Yeah. It's time for us to take off that cloak. It's time for us to drop that sword, that weapon. It's time for us to allow our inner child. So, our inner child there. I mean, our inner child is sitting there and it's waiting for us. It's waiting for us to throw away the cloak, to drop the weapon, to start to become alive again, to dance, to be in the moment, to create happiness and joy in the moment, and to see what is around us. And when we start to see what is already around us, that's good. When we see the good in our experiences, in our environments, within us, we ascend. We feel the freedom. We feel the liberation. Well, where are we there? So the death card is a release card. A death card is pulling off the mask. So the death card is throwing off that cloak and allowing yourself to walk into a new beginning, to start to feel the light, the warmth. Ooh, I knew this was strong. When we had, the 1111, and then we have the 22, I knew right there before we even went any further. And I know that this is just another retrograde right now to slow us down a little bit more. And seriously, I really encourage you, if you only listen to me once out of all the times I say this, it will be worth it for your path forward. Write the story of who you are going to be in 2026, the milestones you're going to have, the joy you're going to experience, the happiness you're going to celebrate, the moments that you're going to make. Temperance. Temperance is that cleaning out of the closet, finding true balance for what gives us balance, not everybody else in the world. Okay, what is it? We get like 300,000 subliminal messages a day on average, according to a Nielsen report. That's a lot. That's a lot of subliminal messages coming our way that we don't even hear, that we don't even see, that we don't even recognize. Like bacon and eggs for breakfast wasn't a thing until what, the 50s or something, and then the cereal companies came out and they did this big marketing thing and just paid a bunch of doctors to say it was really healthy if we ate this bowl of oats with sugar all over it, and pour a little bit of milk on it, it'll taste even better. Throw an extra teaspoon of sugar on that while you're at it. And so we just bought into it, but it actually increased an imbalance within us, and then we adjusted. And this is a time to really look at what you feel are the important things that matter most in your life, and put the attention on those things and bring in the balance and the happiness and the joy through those avenues. Maybe everybody on your street has a BMW or a Mercedes-Benz or whatever, a new Tesla, whatever it is that you want to drive. I would have a street full of F-150s. But maybe you don't like that vehicle. And it's okay to have a different one. It's okay not to be like the Joneses. It's okay to not, just... So many things out there. It's okay to be you in your true balance, I guess is what we're trying to say, right? Okay. And forging ourselves. This is a time to forge ourselves. The blacksmith blew in there. Okay, the temperance card is, 14 energy is the blacksmith. Okay, and my dad was a blacksmith, so I can talk a little bit about the blacksmith. And he would take this bar of steel, and he would wait and get the fire going and cook the fire and give it more air and turn the little fan to blow more heat up from the bottom into the flame. And when the flame started to hit a certain color, that's when he started to put the metal there, and then he'd put it on the anvil and bend it, pound it a little bit, and then put it back in the fire. And it was an art. It was an art of how he would manipulate things to make them round and curve and flatten, and and this is what we're being asked to do about ourselves, of who we are and the path we want to walk, to forge ourselves into being the person that we truly want to see back in the mirror to ourselves. And then we have the 7 of Cups, and it's saying, whoa, but slow down. We don't want to just grab a cup here. We don't just want to grab a cup here. We're only getting one perception of it. And this is the wonderful thing about retrogrades. Okay, retrogrades truly help us because we get to, review some of the decisions we've made, some of the steps we've taken, some of the things we ignored. our decisions and our indecisions, perhaps. And so now we're really looking at it under one perspective. But as we start to walk backwards, we will have things happen and things appear and thoughts appear and situations happen, and we find ourselves back in that environment again. Whatever it might be for you, and all of a sudden you can see maybe what's sticking out of the top of the cup. And, these are all the things that we say on a regular basis. These cups are actually filled with our dreams, our desires, our wants, and our self-talk. So if we're saying, oh, I don't know how I'm going to make it to the end of the month. I don't have enough money. I can guarantee you will not have enough money till the end of the month. Okay, so. But if you start saying, I can't wait to look at my bank account because somebody is sending me money and it's going to be there. And then if it's not there, I say, oh, well, it must be coming later then. I mean, I look forward to looking into my account to see if money appears. You know what has started to become a thing in my life is money is starting to appear in my account in very small little pockets here and there and everywhere. But I'll take it. Thank you very much, universe. Thank you, everybody that watches me, because you're a part of all of that. And it allows me to be here. Okay, it keeps the power on and the internet running for me. So you know what? Our negativity is also in some of those cups where we pull back, where we have that fear. So we're not going to go that way. So then we have to go another way, right? Which doesn't lead us to the desired outcomes that we are striving for. And that's what some of these cups are. And it might be the biggest, shiniest one there. So we want to sit and we want to think about it, and we want to understand what we truly want to step into. Let's go to the ancient stones. That's a strong energy. Okay, we got two of the major arcana with the Six of Cups and the Seven of Cups side by side there. Or they're not side by side. Six of Cups, two major arcana, and then the last one. I don't know why we said that. Okay. Soul agreement, soul mission, soul plan, life purpose. Yeah, and this is really, really some of the energy that we are experiencing here. I'll hold that up for you. Hopefully it'll stay just as clear. I find that the more you meditate or look at these cards, the more something calls out just to you. And if you share that in the comments, maybe somebody else saw it. Maybe we could get a whole talk going on it. Soul, 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 soul. Where are you? There you are. There you are. Okay. Your soul had a dream, and your life is it. Before you drew your first breath, your soul chose the perfect conditions for your return. It dreamed up the specifics for your soul's growth and journey. We all came here with a soul plan, a wish to be brought to life. Soul agreement is a card of destiny and purpose. Do you sense that you're at an important juncture in your life? Has something significant happened, or does it feel like it's beckoning you forward? Is it a new relationship, creation, trip, opportunity, or agreement tugging at your awakening heart, urging you to follow it to come to form? This may be something that truly excites you, or it could be something that you have been resisting, or it could be both. This card appears when you're experiencing something important. Oh, my hand just went, yeah, we're getting lazy there. I'm sorry. Okay. This card appears when you're experiencing something important from a soul's perspective. It reminds you that you're journeying through right now was chosen by your soul. It's a situation or experience that will result in your soul's growth. And while we have free will, we also have opportunities to say yes to moments in our life that were prearranged. And when we do, things just seem to fall into place. It's a highly auspicious moment as we can feel the soul level the deep relief and the knowing that we've arrived at an important juncture and can now create what we came here to create, or to be in relationship with other souls we agree to meet. This is a card of purpose, path, passion, and it often appears as a confirmation that we're on track and what we're currently doing or about to embark on is part of our soul's highest and deepest path. And the ancient stone's activation is, I say yes to my soul's highest and deepest plan. I am ready to be led every step of the way. That was a powerful card for us. Because really, this is a year like none that any human has ever experienced, to the best of my knowledge. I mean, I think the astrologers gave up on trying to match it. I never do this with the cards, not this deck. It's strange that I got led to it, but we did. The butterfly is back. It's a time to build our wings, to strengthen ourselves. So when we go, we all know that if we cut the cocoon from a butterfly to open up the cocoon a little bit, the butterfly dies. And why is that? Because those wings have to form. Because they have to be strong enough to fly. And so in order to be strong enough to fly, they need to be strong enough to break open that cocoon by sheer force. So every time they pump their wings, a little bit of blood goes into their wings. It makes them grow and bigger and stronger, okay? It's like when we're pumping to build our muscles, okay? So we're not going to be able to lift up, the front of a car if we're not working really hard every day. I don't know where that came from. Anyways, I got a picture of it though. I guess it's about building our strength. So building our own wings. Okay, our traits, our skills, our abilities, our unique self. Okay, this is a time to build our wings. So it's about rolling up our sleeves and getting to work. It's about belief, joy, transformation, confidence. And we've got to jump off cliffs all the time and build our wings on the way down. So Butterfly comes to us with the message that it's time for us to build our wings again and fly. And Butterfly is aware that you may have experienced a loss. It could be a death, a divorce, a job, a person. Or you could just be feeling lonely, depleted. Butterfly believes that you can once again find that joy and dance to the song within your soul. And it may feel awkward at first, but with time, you will begin to feel more and more confident. Transformation does not happen overnight, and many times it develops when a negative situation occurs. So we may have grounded ourselves, afraid to fly, or the situation may have forced us to stop believing that we can fly altogether. And now is the time to trust and have the faith that this is a time for you to explore the world around you. It is a time to love again. So yeah, this is not really a time to really push forward in new directions and new ideas, but more to cultivate those new directions and those new ideas that we do want to step into, that we do want to walk forward with. We don't want to dismiss them, absolutely not. But we need to understand, if I do that, then what needs to go, what needs to change, what goal do I need to set, what decisions do I need to make in order to fully step into what I want to do going forward. So yes, dream big. Okay, dream it until you see where you don't think you can surpass anything, and dream a little bit more. Allow that dream to scare you. Okay, just a little bit of what if, of really feeling the magnitude of this is really happening to me in this moment right now. How do you feel? Really put yourself there. How do you feel? It is all happening to me in this moment. You can see it all unfolding around you. It's real. It's tangible in your mind, in your thoughts. Just keep showing up and let them figure out how it's going to manifest in our life. Okay. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.